I help babysit for Jack and Owen and have since they came into this world. And they're absolutely fascinated by going to the Indianapolis Zoo. They love to see the animals. And we do that on a regular basis. The zoo has a new building dedicated to orangutans. It's a huge building, and you can go into the building and see the orangutans up close and personal. One time when we were going down there, I told Jack and Owen about a former student of mine who worked at a zoo on the West Coast, and he fed orangutans, and he was warned by the zoo to watch out for the orangutans because they're not violent, but they will, if they think that you're coming close to them, they will go get a mouthful of water and come up and spit on you. I told Jack and Owen about that, and they were horrified that orangutans would do that because they were told by their parents that they can't spit. And that began a difficult explanation coming from me about why the orangutans spit on human beings. And the reason for their spitting is not to be violent or to disobey their parents. They spit on human beings in an attempt to be funny. It was kind of their sense of humor. That took some time for Jack and Owen to even comprehend how spitting on somebody was supposed to be meant as funny. And then I told Jack and Owen about how they developed a sense of humor. When Jack was a toddler, I'm sure he wasn't even walking, we put him in his high chair and give him finger food while we're making the rest of his breakfast. And I don't know what provoked me to do this, but while I'm sitting there watching him play with his Cheerios or whatever, I went like this, meaning I wanted some of his Cheerios. And Jack looked at me with the most sincere look, like, I don't understand. You feed me these, but you're hungry? Took him about 3 seconds, thinking it, processing it, and then he starts to feed me with a determination that, you take care of me, I'll take care of you. Okay? That is one of those events in a childhood, in his early childhood, that I'll remember until the day I die. Interestingly, several months later, and I do that every once in a while with him, do this, and he feeds me. And this one day, maybe 4 months later, I do this, and he picks up the food and goes this way to me, and as if to give it to me so I could eat it, and then takes it back and laughs. And I said, Jack, you used to do that all the time. And that is because you had developed in that time span between the first time you fed me and the last time a sense of humor. You thought it was funny, and you laughed. That's exactly what the orangutans did. Interesting, Owen, who is 2 years younger than Jack, was getting finger food, and I did precisely the same thing, just to see whether Owen would do it. He replicated Jack's feet, looking at me like, if you're hungry, I'll feed you. Fed me. Several months later, after doing that randomly for 3 or 4 months, I'd do this, and Owen would pick up some food exactly like Jack did. Offered it to me, took it back, ate it, and laughed his head off. He thought it was the funniest thing he had done. What's interesting is that our distant cousins, the orangutans, and us, human beings, aren't that far off the family tree. And we all have a sense of humor. And what we need to do is use that sense of humor and help one another not only live a happy life, but an enjoyable life filled with humor. In the meantime, you take care, and I hope that you have a good day. Thank you.